Hello, my name is Skyler Golt. I'm a research assistant here at University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science, Chesapeake Biological Lab, and today I'm going to talk to you about animal care here at the lab. So whenever you have animals in use, if you're doing an experiment or even if you just have a visitor center fish tank, you have to submit a proposal to IACUC. IACUC is the Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee, and if they approve your protocol, then you can go ahead with your experiment, or in this case, a visitor center fish tank. So our visitor center fish tank is 280 gallons. It has a sump filtration system, which is a part mechanical, which is a sock filter, which will catch debris and extra food, but also a biological filter, which is bioballs, where water will fall through and then bacteria will eat excess food and other debris. It will then go through a chiller, which will control the temperature. It's also in a temperature controlled room, which keeps the temperature fairly constant. Then goes through a UV filter, which will sterilize for algae, so there's not too much algal growth in the tank. So this particular tank is stocked with any fish we find in our seine survey. So the seine survey is conducted in spring through summer, and there will be counts of different types of fish. There'll be sizes and other data collected, and then any fish we want from that seine survey to be in the visitor center fish tank, we will then put it in the holding tank. And the holding tank, they'll be there for about a week, maybe a little longer, and if they're healthy, after that week, we'll then put them in the visitor center fish tank. And so the visitor center fish tank will feed the fish sinking pellets. That could be for spot or other fish species that stay on the bottom. And then for fish species that are more towards the top, like silversides, we will put flakes in. So certain types of fish we put in the tank would be spot, silversides, skilletfish, blennies. We try to put fish that are well suited for tank life. For instance, a bluefish, pelagic fish, swims a lot and is very aggressive. Might not be good for a tank, so we don't put those in there. And because it's a closed system, there's no water coming from the river into the tank. We have to pay extra close attention to water quality. And to monitor water quality, we have a wide-side probe. We stick the probe in the water, and then in the meter, it will read out salinity, dissolved oxygen, and also temperature. And so if there is a problem that is an irregularity of one of those, we know there might be a problem with the chiller, or maybe there's a bubbler out. Maybe there's too much evaporation, because as the tank cycles, water evaporates, and so the salinity will slowly rise because fresh water is leaving. And so this is kind of similar to out in the river, where the salinity continues to rise as evaporation happens, and then there'll be a rain event, and then the salinity will go back down. We also monitor for ammonia, because high levels of ammonia are bad for fish. So we have a test kit. We'll take the first bottle solution and we'll add 8 drops to a 5 milliliter vial. We will then add the second solution, add another 8 drops, and after we add the 8 drops, we will mix this together. And you can already see that it's turning a little yellow. And so we'll let this sit for 5 minutes. But what we're looking for is the color on this little color palette. And the highest yellow is 0 milligrams per liter, and that's the number we're looking for. We only have 3 spot at the moment in the fish tank, so the bio load is very low, extra food's very low, so there's not a lot of ammonia in the tank. But if the ammonia were to get really high, that might be because there's a lot of fish and a lot of bio loading. And if that's the case, we might want to do a water change. We do periodic water changes anyway, but if there's a problem, we might have to do one right away. And if that problem persists, that might mean we have too many fish in the tank, or it also might mean that there's a problem with the sump pump filtration system. But either way, there's a problem we might need to address. So that pretty much wraps up animal care for the visitor center fish tank. When the visitor center is open, we have other cool exhibits such as the student research exhibits, faculty research exhibits, historical exhibits. So when you get a chance and we're open, come check us out.